Alright guys, in today's video I got Tommy back, and he's a contractor. He's from the United States. Appreciate you coming back, Tommy. So don't forget to hit a thumbs up before you watch this video. Anyway, Tommy, we took a tour through our friend Chris's house that you built, and that was a massive house. I think it was like 3,000 square feet or so. Or
yeah, just about, yeah.
Big house. But I want to focus more today on smaller homes, because in the comments of this last video, most people don't have that budget, and they're looking more at land and a house, maybe along the lines of maybe 50, 60, 75,000. And one question that came up was the land part. You can't own land here, but one way, and I think our friend Chris did this, is you can lease land.
Yes.
And you can lease it really past the point that you're probably going to pass away anyway, right?
Yeah, so, yeah, you could lease the land, but if you want to own property, foreigners aren't allowed to own property, but you are allowed to own the house.
Okay.
So you can put the house in your name.
Okay.
Which means you actually will own the structure, but you won't own the land that it sits on. So.
Okay. But if you lease the land, let's say you're 60 years old and you lease it for 25 years, chances are you might not be around anyway.
Right, right.
Now, what would happen? Do you know any idea what would happen to it after that?
I guess it would go to whoever's names it's in, right?
Okay.
I'd imagine.
If you were married or something. So even as a single guy, if you're not married, there is a way around that you could still technically own the house and then just probably lease the land.
Right.
That's probably the best bet.
Right.
Okay. But for a lot of guys, I guess if they get married, then the wife can own the land.
Exactly.
The only thing, I think some people do worry that maybe the wife, if things go sour, she could really...
Well, that's why if you have the house in your name, at least you kind of have some bargaining chip to deal with, right? Because you could actually just tell her, hey, well, I'll destroy the house, and then she gets nothing,
right?
And nobody gets anything. So sometimes that could be used as a bargaining tool, having it in your name.
And by the way, we are at Tommy's other business here called Paco's Tacos, and he's graciously had some dishes made that we're going to bring out here. I told him if he gets a lot of customers that I want a lifetime free supply of of tacos. But I might get a little sick of tacos, I suppose. But anyway, so if you were coming out here, and I guess the first step, find the land, and the other question that came up in the comments was, can you finance? Because not everybody's got, $50K.
Yeah, so. I don't know how the financing works here through the banks, but I'm sure if you could, it would be really high.
Right.
Just looking at some of the other rates and finance rates here. Yeah, so I'm not really sure about that.
But however, if you were married, maybe the wife could possibly get the financing. But again, you said the rates are pretty high here. It's not
yeah.
So I guess there's probably ways to finance, but you would probably need to be married and probably have to be through your wife's name, and it would probably be at a higher interest rate than you could get in the West.
Absolutely.
So there's probably ways. If you know, comment down in the description, let us know. How long does it, being the Philippines, does it take much longer to have a house built than it would in the U.S., for example?
Roughly, it depends on the size of the house, but like you were talking about smaller type houses.
Sure.
You want to do it in square feet or meters?
Sure, whatever.
Okay, so square, let's say 1,500 square foot home. If I don't have a lot of projects going on, I could probably, I'm doing one right now about that size, and it's been about 3 months to the day. And I'm just about done. I have about a week left. So it could be done in three months. 4 months typically would be about the time frame.
Okay.
Chris's took a lot longer because it's a lot bigger, and he was in no hurry, and we had some other stuff, walls and landscaping and driveways and other stuff that we were doing as well. So that took a little longer, but typically 4 months, I would say, standard home would take. So.
Okay, that's quick. Really.
Yeah, it really is.
Now, a lot of Filipinos, you'll see a lot of Filipinos like OFWs. They go and work overseas, and then they send money home, and they have houses built while they're gone, and they basically just kind of build as the money
Yes,
comes in.
exactly. Yep.
Is that something
Yeah.
that can actually be done?
That could be done as well. Yep, you can do it in stages if the person, you know, is on like a budget where
Sure.
they're only getting so much money per month or whatever, and that's fine too. Because
Okay.
like I said, I have crews that I've been working with for about 16 years here, and I just move around from job to job, and so
Okay.
it would be no problem just move them to this job for a couple weeks and then take them somewhere else and move them back when the owner has more money to do more.
Okay.
No problem.
And by the way, at the last video that we did, we have your business, TLC Construction. You didn't have a Facebook page, but now you do, and we will put that in the description and put it on the bottom there so people can go and contact you there.
Yeah, I'll put up a bunch of pictures and things that I've done, like swimming pools, apartment complexes, houses.
So you do pools and
I
everything?
do swimming pools as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you can do some really big projects.
Yeah.
Now, you've been in the Philippines 17 years?
Yep. 17 years.
Wow. And what made you come up to the Philippines? Same reason.
I guess
as many
women,
of us.
right?
Tired of the women?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But actually, I didn't plan on staying here. I just came for a short visit and then took a leave of absence from work for like 6 months, and the 6 months turned into 18 years. So.
Yeah. That was kind of me. I came up for a month for a vacation. I had chatted with a girl, and I said, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to go back to the U.S. So I found a way to get out here, and here I am
kind of the same
6 years
thing.
later. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Right on.
Amazing. So how many projects you got going on now?
Right now I have I think four right now. They're all houses.
Well, walk me through the process of if I was interested in getting a house. Let's say I find the land. I guess the land obviously is first.
Right.
What are the steps after that?
Well, I always tell the person that when you find the property, have it really checked out good with an attorney.
Okay.
Make sure the title is really clean. Make sure it has right of way. That's very important because I've known people that bought property and actually built on it, and then come to find out they didn't have the right of way that they thought.
Okay.
And that could be a real problem. So make sure all that's clean first.
Okay.
Make sure everything's good, your paperwork's all good, and then we could sit down and I could I would help the person like draw out like some kind of plan, whatever they want, like just a rough drawing of what they want. 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 4-bedroom, and then once we kind of figure out what the design of the house is, then there's a couple architects that I have that work really cheap. And we could take it to them and they could put it to blueprint. And then once you get your blueprints, then you go and get your building permits, which usually could take, depending on what city you're dealing with.
Right.
Bacong's really difficult.
Okay.
But Dumaguete, Valencia is pretty easy. It probably takes about a week to get your permits.
Okay.
And then once you get your permits, you could start construction. And like I said, it'll take probably about 4 months to build a typical bungalow-style home.
Now, are you only available in the Valencia area? If somebody has the money and they're in Iloilo, perhaps, would you ever
I
go
don't
somewhere?
know about another island. Maybe if it was feasible and if I had workers that were willing to travel, yeah.
That's the thing. I suppose you got all your workers
Yes,
here.
and I don't know how they would feel about going, leaving their family that long.
But maybe within the island of Negros, you're open to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I built homes in Darwin, Zamangita. But locally, usually they're, Dumaguete and Bacong, Valencia. But yeah, that would be something to think about.
Okay. Just curious. Somebody had messaged me from Iloilo, and so I didn't know. By the way, we got some food coming out. Wow.
Well, that's a chili
Looks
verde.
amazing. You look amazing too. So, so you can come out here and get good food and a good view. So, anyway, we'll probably end this video here in a second. But how long have you had this Paco's?
Probably, what are we about, 7 years? Yeah, about 7 years.
Has she been here? 7
Yep.
years? Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I've known Marianne for since I got here, about 15 years.
Okay.
She used to work for us as a helper.
How many homes do you think you've built in your time here?
Probably, I would say close to 20.
Okay.
And a couple apartment complexes, 3 apartment complexes,
Oh, wow.
which each one of those has like 8 units, 4 units. So if you count it by units, yeah, quite a bit of construction.
Are those apartments here in Valencia?
Yes. Yeah, 2 of them are in Valencia, and then the other one I built is in Bacong. And I'll put those up on my site so they can look.
Yeah. Well, do you know the names offhand?
Well, I actually built the apartments. They were called, I named them after my daughter. They were Bella Buena.
Okay.
And then Casa Mira apartments.
Okay.
But I sold them, so I think they changed the name.
Changed the name. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what they are now.
So if you guys want to check that out and contact Tommy, it'll be at TLC Construction, and you can contact him, see the photos and everything. So appreciate it. Doing the video again.
Yeah, great.
And we got. Let me see here. We got chili verde, and crispy taco. So I'm gonna eat, guys. I'm gonna start my lifetime supply of free food here at Pacos Tacos. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.